Is it on? Hello? Yep, there we go.
It's there. It's just says live now.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
To be absolutely correct, I was live before the live sign came up. But
Earth Mom, I'm gobsmacked. Last week's SCOTUS ruling. Corporate media going against Biden. Yeah, it's been a rough week.
hmm
But we're all riding with Biden.
yeah, and
Good morning, JJ.
I used to tell people when they'd say, "Oh, but this millionaire, has put this much into someone's race." But this was back when you could still only put so much in races and stuff. But at the end of the day, those guys only have one vote. And as long as we're out there pounding the drums and reminding people, they can have more. And it's you just have to keep that in mind. And SCOTUS, SCOTUS is the SCOTUS as it exists now is in its death throes. So I mean, even if Trump takes over, which I do not ever see happening again, um, I can't believe these guys voted against their own self-interest. Except they've got their millions and they don't care. But I really want to let Sheldon Whitehouse loose on them.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for them.
Mm-mm.
Especially when we take all three, get the House back, keep the Senate, keep Joe in place,
Mm-hmm.
start throwing out impeachments and pressure and making them testify. They all lied in the confirmation hearings. They all lied. So we'll get down to it. Put the pressure on. White House is not done with getting all the info from Harlan and Leonard, and it all takes time, but they aren't gonna lay down. No way.
Mm-mm.
We must crush 2025 project.
Oh, now Trump says he knows nothing about it. It was written by the people who worked for him.
I know, right?
The
Yeah, yeah, it is crazy how the media always seems to, way back when too, just go after Democrats and just kind of smooth over what the Republicans do. It's so weird. It's like, where's the independence?
there isn't any because they're not being forced to have to consider both sides. The fairness doctrine that went away with Reagan. That's another Reagan miracle.
You know, right, Liz? The liar, and ex-chief. Everyone just lets them get away with it. Twitter, social media is just hitting it hard with all the pictures of 45 with Epstein with the files and whatnot that came out.
Right.
But no one reports that. Oh,
Well, there's too many of their own people that are involved with that too.
Harry Littman was ripping on CNN. Good.
Yeah.
I like Harry.
hmm
Gotta like those good men that just say how it is. And they know
How
what they're
many?
talking about. And they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, how many people heard about Matt Gates being served by a 17-year-old who claims she has proof that he had sex with her, and she's suing him now for abuse. And he's been dodging the subpoena for about a week. They finally got him, but you don't see the press reporting that he's a pedophile or
Yeah, right.
you know they're the things that they want to say. I did see, and I don't know which channel what it was on, but it was a pretty good expose on the thing where they tried. Fox put the thing up about Biden wandering, and he was actually going over to thank the guys who done the parachuted in
Right.
Europe. And this woman did a frame by frame, and she showed exactly where Fox cut And she said, this just isn't right. And then she went into a spiel on the fairness doctrine.
UK polls were correct.
Mm-hmm.
Labour would win. France's polls said the right would win one round. Second round today shows they won't win outright. Oh, thank God.
No kidding. Because it's a different polling group. If you remember in Michael Cohen's testimony when he was talking about all the crap about Stormy Daniels to the House, to that televised hearing, he said, we bought all the pollsters. And after Nate Silverman came up with the 538, where they would compile all the polls and they come up with some reasonable things, for entertainment purposes only, most polling in the U.S. Is push polling at this point. They're saying, if you understand the circumstances is da 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 da, would you vote for Joe Biden? And it's usually stuff that was like, no.
I seen a social media post, Dery Daniel's friend did a GoFundMe for her for her financial struggles and whatnot. It raised just under $1 million to get her back on track. So I'm pretty sure she's going to be okay.
What I feel sorry for her is she's hiding her 13-year-old right now.
Yeah, or 14 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got to try to keep her safe. Hello from the Virgin Islands. Gail, good morning.
Are you okay, Gail? Didn't the storm come close to you?
Yeah, I was looking at the trajectory. They're saying that storm could come up all the way to the Midwest and give us some rains.
It's okay. It stopped it from being 100 here. I'm sorry, Virgin Islands, but yeah, it's only going to be in the low 90s today. I mean, this is almost midwinter.
Oops. Why do the courts want her daughter? Stormy was talking about they wanted her information for court documents and whatnot. And she wouldn't give it up.
Yeah, it's one of the suits that she's been involved with, and her daughter has no relevance to the suit, but it's just so they can dox her daughter and find her.
Yeah, it's just crazy. He's trying to dox. Just trying to keep her safe from the madness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that GoFundMe legal fund got like 2 million. I don't know. Let those crazies give their money away for no good reason.
And they're going to cut their Social Security so they won't have anything to give in the future.
Travel. Could you expand on that? I am not aware of what's going on in Pakistan to try to tap into. Is there a civil war or protest going on there?
They're separated by when they created Pakistan. It's across the top of India, but it's actually two different places. And so one side's kind of developed one way and one's sort of developed the other.
Okay. Will Biden use his superpower at justices? I don't think so. I've always sensed that he would like the Congress to vote and create four more itself.
Yep.
I don't see an executive order of any president just saying we're adding 4 justices.
He could issue an executive order saying that there should be a judge for each district, which would add 3.
Yeah, like to get started or something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Congress must create a bill and bring it to the floor, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Jamaica got hit hard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's where I just went on vacation back in late February. It's tough to see. How's Bannon feeling?
Do you want to lay cards on that? I'd even be willing to do that one.
What the heck? I'll just try 3 and see how he's feeling. Because I really don't want to think
His
about
energy's oogie.
his energy and whatnot, but let's see what the cards say. I'm not even going to think about it. See what the cards say.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I'm going to use my life as like a board game.
Is he in? Well, he's hit the Monopoly.
Yeah, that's the Monopoly deck, yeah.
Actually, Biden has done a lot of executive orders. Oh, so I got my justice card, the courthouse. Truth and consequences happening to him right now, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I get my 9-10 of coins, which is usually balance and financial success. So I feel like this actually should be upside down because he's not having balance right now.
Mm-mm.
And then I have my 8 of coins, which is always like can represent bodily problems.
Right.
You know, it's always like repairs need to be done. There's body issues. With the 8 of coins, you're working on stuff. So I think he might be in a detox problem or something.
Mm-hmm.
So truth and consequences are coming to him.
Mm-hmm.
Justice finally happened to him. That's all I get. I think he's kind of like detoxing, not feeling the greatest.
Right. What I got was he can't get out of here fast enough. He's trying to figure that out. He's got Reciprocity Avenue, so he's getting his own back. His a 9 of Swords reversed, which is, for me, it's worse. It means you're really, really have no way out of this. And then his last 2 cards are really potent. The Devil, which in this deck is a jail cell. And his out card is Leave It All Behind. All he's doing is thinking about when he gets to leave it all behind. Who was it that I heard said the guards better take care of him and nothing ought to happen to him or they're going to pay? I'm like, what?
Well, that's probably like Roger Stone or something like that, I suppose.
No, it was a name I didn't recognize. It was
Oh, really?
a general. It was a general somebody. A retired general. I'm like, really? Threatened prison guards? That's good.
And Bannon will start his trial in the fall and get sentenced to prison again. Okay. Lauren Boebert is supposed to be a guest on Bannon's podcast while he's in prison. Will this hurt her re-election? Being on a right-wing podcast, I really don't think so.
No.
Let's just see what the energy is with Boebert's election.
Okay.
She got a lot of votes in the primary. There is a pretty good candidate trying to hit her hard, but it's very Republican. The energy,
She didn't even get the majority of the Republicans.
True. I don't think Bannon is doing his podcast from jail. I think someone is taking it over while he's in jail.
Okay.
Like I was reading that the J6 people that are in prison, they figured out a way to do a podcast in there but it's getting taken care of.
Good.
They were allowed to get laptops to look at Discovery and whatnot. Well,
Right.
they figured out it had cameras, so they were doing podcasts. But they got their laptops taken away, or ones without cameras. Okay.
So we're just reading on Bobert's
Yeah,
election.
the energy on Lone Borbert winning in November in District 4, Colorado.
Oh, I don't like this at all. It's a yes. It was forward movement for her to shift districts, but it's full of conflict right now. But this is still a yes. And she's going to try a lot of impulsive messages to keep the people running. Also, there's something very shady going on in that election.
Oh, lovely.
And um, it's the money people, the money Republicans behind her in Colorado, because they really don't want to lose that seat. So they're going to push for it to happen the way it looks now. You really push.
Yeah, I only got one bad card.
Yeah, I only got one.
Doesn't mean afterwards. I still think she's on Jack Smith's list. So yeah, in the past I got voting, the chariot, and in the government.
Mm-hmm.
So basically saying she was victorious. She has name recognition with the strength card and 9 of coins stability. But there is a restriction there with the 8 of swords moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Her actions are giving her less interest. But in the end, I have Queen of Coins, Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands. That's very victorious in an outcome.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to ask about our for entertainment purposes only? Um, is Jack Smith, if he gets stymied against Trump, is he going to go after the congressional members that he didn't go after because he was focusing on Trump?
I had that down as a banner.
Ah!
All right. Co-conspirators, since there's all this SCOTUS delay,
Mm-hmm.
they stink.
Mm-hmm.
It is so. It's all they can do is kind of piece out, take pieces where they can interpret a little bit, because they can't totally rip up the Constitution, but they kind of piece it out. Like with Roe, oh, we're going to send it back to the states to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Okay, Jack Smith. Clear the cards here. Get the energy.
Getting different deck.
Will Liz asks, will Jack Smith investigate the Supreme Court? That's not in his purview, but you know, Ginny Thomas was involved, but it doesn't, unless it leads back to Clarence. And there is a little hit with Alito, because they said Alito's on board, so there are some hints of those two. But as a whole, I don't really think so, because it's not in his purview. It could be given out to another prosecutor or something. Okay, back to that energy.
Okay.
Jack Smith. When was he? King of Wands. Man of action. Oh, yes. In the past, he has the evidence. It's all ready to go. 10 of
Mhm.
coins, King of wands, Knight of cups.
Mhm.
It just tells me everything's ready to go. This is the past position. Moving forward, we got a little bit of a delay and issues here with the 5 of coins. So Knight of wands, that's all about bringing action. Page of cups, offers, linking things together, and the 5 of coins. So there's some struggles there. So there's been some struggles or a possible delay action because of 45 or whatever.
Mhm.
So there was a reason to slow it down with struggles there. In the end, justice happens. Six of cups, things these co-conspirators did,
Mhm.
and karma happening.
Uh-huh.
So I really feel that it's going to happen before November. It very well could be next month.
Yeah, I got the 8 of coins. He's working on it really hard. There's the high priestess is reversed. They're really trying to keep it under wraps. Then you got the winter cards. The Ace of Wands moving forward with great diligence. The Queen of Cups doing it from a good emotional space. And the Page of Swords coming out with the hard messages. So, yeah, I think he's going to be there. I think that they're all slapping each other, and that's maybe one reason um, that you're hearing the rumors about there being rebellion within the Republican Party because of Trump's stance. They know if they can throw Trump to them, then it'll get them off their ass. Excuse me, their butts.
So speaking of, Paula must have been listening to our conversation prior to coming on
Yes.
about Ron Johnson. Like he's been a little quiet lately,
Mm-hmm.
not as active of his lying ways on Fox News lately. So is Ron Johnson, senator of Wisconsin, one of the co-conspirators
For January 6th.
for the J6? We all know he had a little bit to do with the fake electors. He knew about it. He at least texted about it. He was supposed to receive documents. That's all we know. Is Ron Johnson one of the co-conspirators? Ron Johnson, one of the co-conspirators.
Well, I'd say yes.
Devil in the details.
Mm-hmm. He was just a follower, kind of in a way. He would, but it was to keep him in his happy little house. Isn't he the one whose brother has a lot of used to have a lot of connections to Russian businesses?
I'm not sure about his brother.
Okay. Um, this is the emperor. He just wants to stay in power. He'll do whatever it takes. But that's been his history. But now I'm out of here. That's like turning state's witness or something. And it's just like a time we got the Queen of Wands heading towards justice. So I think, yeah, Ron's hiding.
So I think in the past here it shows knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ace of Coins, Ace of Wands, and mysteries. So I think he was hiding something. These two aces show his full knowledge and intent.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Wands, movement, strength card, and the devil. So it was corrupt. What he was doing is corrupt. He had full knowledge. He was trying to help keep the Republicans in power. So in the end, Knight of Cups. That's always
Right.
going to be a proposal card.
Mm-hmm.
Can be a flipping card. 5 of Swords, my J6 card. Being involved. And then a loss. Broken. So it feels like his reputation is going to take a hit, but this shows he flipped or he's going to testify or something like that. So it doesn't show to me like he's a co-conspirator, but he had knowledge and he'll be giving some access to what he knows. So I didn't get any card of mine that would either show imprisonment or being locked up or anything like that. But it feels like knowledge, and he would tell what he knows behind the scenes. Wisconsin's now got a liberal leaning court, so mum's the word. They're doing their thing. They're striking down Republican ways. They just approved or struck down the Republican way of drop boxes.
Oh, really?
Yep, they just overturned that and said drop boxes are just fine. So we can put out drop boxes in Wisconsin so you don't have to go. You can drop them off. Republicans are fighting that a whole way, wasting their money in court.
Well, it's, I know Michigan is bankrupt. Is your party, is Republican Party, they're getting bankrupt? Because you can't keep funding all those sorts of lawsuits without money.
I have not looked how they're doing. Okay. Carol's wondering again, how many co-conspirators will be identified in senators? And how many in the House?
I don't know individually, but it's 42 altogether.
There was...
What was it? We came up with 38 to 42?
Something around there. It was pretty close to 40 that, like, Denver Riggleman, he talked about how many he found emails and text chains. And he listed about 40 some. More in the House than the Senate. There was probably like 6 in the Senate, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like Tuberville was called. You know, Ron Johnson had a little bit there. Mike Lee, Cruz, Holly, the normal.
The usual suspects.
The usual suspects. But it all depends how Jack feels, you know, how deep they were in. I always felt there would be like 25 be indicted. And then there'd be others that flip or just, you know, maybe forwarded something, but not really were in the coup. Okay. All right. Celia posted that right away. What's going to happen with SCOTUS after the election?
Yeah.
The energy around SCOTUS after the 2020. Oh, you've seen that in Britain, England, the transfer of power happened the day after.
Oh, it's immediate. There ain't no chance. You ain't gonna start a riot in the streets.
There ain't no coup in England.
Yeah, but their power structure's always been in London, and our formalities started when people had to ride in horse and buggies to get from here to there. That's the big reason.
We need so many changes to make.
We need to zoom the government into the future.
You need voting rights. We need Roe v. Wade. We need Citizens United scrapped. We need all of SCOTUS's decisions redone. We need senators changed so it ain't 2 per state by population. So many things need to get done in the next years. Okay. SCOTUS, energy around SCOTUS after the new administration. Well, actually, if it's a new administration ongoing, there's no worries. They can go at any time.
Mhm. I got they're not going to be reprimanded, but I'm going to ask if some of them are leaving.
Wow. Well, I'm getting here. They're already taking a hit. Mentally, physically, whatever. So in the past, I have tides are turning for them with the Wheel of Fortune. Circle of Life, karma hitting them. There is all the negativity coming from our government. There is that worry there because I got my broken lost card here. So the Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune, and Broken Hearted. So bad karma is hitting them all the way around. I got the forces of the universe are hitting their finances. They're going at the finances hard. Ace of Coins and King of Coins in the middle, the Magician. So it feels like what prosperity they had is going to get hit really hard by investigations.
Mm-hmm.
I feel there. Then things somehow get better. So I have my Universal Love Angel card. Queen of Swords could be Law and Order, and then Knight of Cups. So there's going to be changes. I see changes coming with the law hitting them. So what does that mean? Technically not reprimanded, but I think they're going to get hit hard by changes. The pressure is going to be hit on them with lawyering and better proposals. Usually the Knight of Cups hit me. It's all about proposals, influence, good influence, and I got another good influence. So I would say changes are coming in a better way.
I've got that someone's going to be leading the changes, and that's sort of my Biden card, the King of Cups. So he'll still be in charge. But it's going to be a change of fortune, but not immediate. They're going to come up with stuff to hang in there. There's going to be so much stuff to do that dealing with them is not going to be the highest priority. But someone's going to say, this is long overdue and we need to get this crop planted and moving forward. But it's a matter of momentum. You know, they've got so much. It's like you said, Scott, you list off all that stuff. They got to get all that done. And they know they have to do it really fast because that 2-year window they may have may not last, depending on how things go.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do.
So if you think cleaning up the Supreme Court's the most important thing, you need to let who's ever representing you know that. You just can't sit and talk to us about it.
I don't remember if we mentioned it last week. Did you see Bolsonaro was indicted? I can't remember if we said something last week, but Bolsonaro was indicted for corruption and whatnot in Brazil. I think it is. Love it. Clarence, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're well. Will Amy Barrett side more with the liberal justices?
Yes.
She's already kind of sneaking in. We read on that before, and it felt like they're making a bond. The women are making a little bit of a bond.
They're meeting in the restroom. Now, I have a friend who was one of the first women to win in City Hall here in Dallas. And she said the guys would all go off and they'd do whatever they wanted to. And that the safest place for the women to meet and discuss what they wanted to do, if it was different than the mainstream males, was in the restroom. And, you know, that's where they'd meet and get stuff done. And eventually there became as many women as men. So.
Oh, Roberts went off the deep end.
No,
for many years when I first started reading publicly, I always felt he was pretty centrist, you know, reasonable. This
Mhm.
last year, he went full right.
Well,
He went full MAGA last year.
yeah, but he's got his own financial finaglings there. His wife, her company, what it does is it places lawyers into law firms that work with within the Supreme Court realm, and they make more money with her getting lawyers in those as a headhunter for law firms than they do from his salary. So
I think it was what I read, maybe like 10 million or something. She's either made or per year. I don't know. Maybe it was made.
I think that's a lot to make in
Uh,
1 year.
regret. Okay. September 18th is now when Mershon's going to have the hearing.
Hmm.
Hopefully, no more days, but it could be our October surprise
In September.
in September. Yes. Carol, there's a song, Meeting in the Ladies' Room. Yeah, killers, they want to come after everything available. As long as they can get a challenge to the court with damage. Okay, Judge Mershon, September 18th. What's the energy of the sentencing? Linda smoking in the girls' room. Judge Mershon sentencing September 18th. What's the energy of what he would plan to do? You take everything. I think we said that before. You take everything. Prosecutors, the probation, his conduct, and what he believes he deserves. True, true, Pam.
It's all going to be about money. It's all
What
going to be about fines. Rashawn's stuff.
you think he's just gonna find him?
Well, I got Queen of Coins. This deck has a weird card called the Palace of Coins, and this is above above all the other arcana in this majors in the suits. And when it shows up, that means that's going to be the thrust of it. So it's coins. So I have Queen of Coins. He's going to be really pissed because it's going to be draining his treasury. He's got Page of Coins. You know, money, 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 money. That it's got the Fool, but it's reversed. So I'm not going to give them much choice in it. But then it goes back to the Ace of Coins. There couldn't be more coins in here. What I think the whole thing is going to be is what it's going to cost him. Trump.
Odd. I got no coins in my toss.
Because they're all here.
In the past, I have 7 of Cups,
Mm-hmm.
but dreaming, delusions.
Mm-hmm.
King of Wands, the Man of Honor, intelligence, doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a dark period for Judge Mershon there.
Mm-hmm.
All the doxing, and it took everything. It feels like it took everything out of him not to want to slap the hammer on him. So then I have the Knight of Swords moving forward here, the Chariot, and the Moon. So Moon can be dark thoughts, but it feels more like
Emotions.
the secret emotions, whatever, like that. The Chariot is taking charge of the situation. Knight of Swords is usually my law enforcement or having the courage. So that feels like he's going to take charge and do a strong sentence. In the end, I'm getting there will be some kind of lockup,
Oh God.
whether it's home confinement. So I got the Eight of Swords. That's my
Mm-hmm.
card. So whether it's home confinement or something, but he's going to be restricted in some way. Knight of Wands, he could be whisked away to some place, and then we're going to have victory, success, and feel good about it. So whatever it is, it's going to make us feel good. This card is also about protecting the public, protection of other things. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I think we're going to feel comfortable about it.
Well, I asked if he was going to get some confinement, and my first card was the Tower.
Good. Locked in this tower.
And the second one was the Five of Coins, to be isolated and to be alone, like the people outside the church. And the third card is the Two of Swords, to be locked between two choices, but it's got swords. Then if this was, would he be put in some kind of confinement? And then I got the Six of Wands. The way it's going to be done is going to be so fair that I can't say it's prejudicial, and it causes Trump the Nine of Swords.
Anxiety, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really feel like he's going to want to, throw the book at him in Rikers for 15 years, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there is going to be consequences.
Yep.
And I think the prosecutors are going to put that out there. We really don't believe his probation hearing went well. So it's all on recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense is going to say the same normal stuff. He's running for president. What does 45 truly think of Melania not supporting him? She's never liked him. She's as evil as he is, but she doesn't like him.
Whenever I think of Melania, I think about the first White House Christmas where she had all those red trees. Every tree in the place was bright red. It was just disgusting.
So that's a disappointment. Okay. Melania.
Well, you know what they say. Every pot has a lid that fits it. Those two go together.
Oh, the devil. The greed. Or it could be a death card. We'll see what I feel when I toss them out. Oh, it's contractual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is no love. There's no love there. But we were asking what Trump feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 45's heartbroken. So we got heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
We got a death card. And we have lack of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Five of Wands arguing. So there's no love there. So it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
The marriage is broken. So I got my oh crap card, Five of Coins. The struggle for love. Knight of Swords. That feels like she hates him. Knight of Coins. Contractual obligation.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, it just feels like it's broken there. Page of Cups, kind of like your proposals. You need to do this, try to do this, and she doesn't really want to. Lawyers. Now I got the King of Swords. It feels like the stress of all the prosecutions on him, part of the hate that she has. And then decisions, and patience. It's just always in his mind how to get her there and whatnot, but it feels horrible.
It's always been kind of a stormy relationship with Five of Wands, and it was over before it started. And right now, the only reason she's hanging around is it's all about the money. And he wants to hang on to her because if they have a divorce suit, he has to reveal his assets for her attorneys. So that's why they're living on opposite ends of the Mar-a-Lago aisle. But there's no love loss in this group at all. And she wants out. This is getting out of the boat instead of getting in the boat with people. So.
True that. Baron Soul picked an interesting set of parents.
Yeah, and he picked an interesting size to come in at. It's hard to hide. I mean, it's not like he's a short little dude and he can go hide in a crowd.
It's a stormy relationship. Good one. Good one, Lulu.
Well, she met him when there's pictures of her with Epstein and him together. And that was that period of time. And, people who engage in the behaviors they're claiming happen on Epstein's Isle, they all have a part of their soul missing to engage in that stuff.
Yes, they do. It's sad state of affairs. I can't remember what it was, but there was a sex trafficking ring just broken up in New England area somewhere. Last week I read. It was in the some FBI website, whatever, or whatever. Every day I see these youth pastors or whatever getting busted for what they did, or police officers.
Yep.
Or Republicans. Just horrible. It's just so sad. All these lives hurt. Did anyone mention the Epstein papers? Not really, but if you want to see if actually the mainstream media is going to really take it and
no, they're not.
I don't think so. It's
because their own people are in it.
Sure, true.
And quite honestly, can we take Epstein off the screen? That man makes me sick.
Very true. Looking back, Carol. Any of these judges make it to SCOTUS? Judge Pan, Judge Chucklin, Mershon, Beryl Howell, Byers Case.
No, Chutkin's too old. They're going to pick young judges to go into SCOTUS.
Yeah, it feels like it would be diverse.
And I don't know how old Beryl Howell is, but I think she must be up there because she's been the senior judge in her circuit.
Yeah, I think she's in her mid-60s.
Yeah.
Mershon's up there. Chuckin's in her 60s, I think.
And that's why they picked Clarence Thomas, because he was young and he was black and he was malleable and he was greedy.
Corruptible.
Yeah.
It feels like Asian descent one of them will be, and then another black woman. There was that California Supreme Court judge, I think. And she was a black woman. She was like number 2 in the list. Like those. But I don't really sense any of those. Younger, diverse. And there's going to be a Asian man, I think, too. I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like two more women first, and then there might be an Asian man. It's kind of like what Joe said. The Supreme Court should look like us, the United States. Gail's wondering if that tower with Saudi Arabia backing them is going to go through. Can't remember where it was, but
Okay.
it looked like it was in the middle of a desert.
Well, it's in Saudi Arabia, Scott. Think about it.
Trump Hotel, backed by Saudi. Will it be successful? Will it get off the ground?
Okay, I'm going to ask if it's even ever going to start.
Yeah, I think that's a better question. Will it even get off the ground? Financial backing comes out first. It's on board. Move it. Okay.
Nope, I got that it's not going to go.
So it's got financial backing.
Mm-hmm.
It could bring extra income to the family.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the past. Moving forward, there's lack of energy,
Mm-hmm.
of complete financing. It feels like on the Trump org end. Five of Wands. What do you got there?
Reverse Six of Coins was my out card. Things are kind of, the idea's there and they've got the plans, but then it all falls apart because there's the financing's not there at the end.
I think some of it has to do with justice happening.
Well, if he doesn't win, and then he's paying lawyers out.
He's convicted and everything else. In the end, there's a celebration for us.
Well, they could design a hotel that reflects his lifestyle. They could have bars on all the windows, and everybody in the place has to wear black and white striped clothes.
I don't think
Part of a theme.
it feels like it's not going to go through with the Trump org. They might build it. It's so dumb. Why would Saudi want to get in bed with them?
Well, they thought it could help them with the oil stuff, but since Biden's done such a good job of keeping our oil needs very well met, along with bringing in things that are going to make oil need to be lessened, our needs will be lessened. But
Ooh, what's wrong with the Pentagon? With the corruption?
a whole lot. I think.
Well, there's got to be news to focus on. I was wondering.
Oh no, I've always felt like when the long story's written, which I may not live to see. I mean, it's that long out. But when the whole history's written, you're gonna find out that when Biden took over the DOJ, they had no idea how totally it had been corrupted and screwed with and messed with. That's why it took Merrick Garland so long to go, to get after people, because you never knew who you could talk to about what you wanted to do. I think ultimately he brought in Jack Smith because of that problem. I think the same thing at the Pentagon. Why would the military have been sitting there in D.C. other than it was Mike Flynn's brother in that office that day, not seeing a riot around the Capitol and not sending soldiers in?
It's Chris Miller. He was the acting Secretary of Defense.
Mm-hmm.
There's those memos or whatever that went out that he didn't authorize any. It had to go through him or something, and Trump authorized. So they didn't request anymore like 3 days prior. So I think he was complicit in it too.
Well, look, you can say that, but the military can say what it wants to say about we have our lines of blah blah blah. When they wanted to put that clown in charge of the DOJ, the one, and he's not a clown. I think environmental law is very important. But when they wanted to put that
Clark.
guy in charge of the DOJ, the other leaders in the DOJ said, "We'll all leave. The entire building will empty." That's all it would have had to have been said. I mean, there are so many people who said the right thing at the time, but we're letting the ones who didn't slide. Don't get me started.
Yep, it was corrupt.
Well, they've been working at it for 40 years, guys.
Using acting secretaries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the energy of the far right gaining complete control of the French?
My gut feeling, Scott, and I'm not going to lay cards on it, is it's going to be like the Italian, the one who was the granddaughter of some Nazi or something.
Maloney?
That became prime minister, and everybody thought Italy's going to hell in a handbasket. The second she got in there and she realized what she had to do to even keep the country together, she couldn't go where she wanted to go, and she's stymied. So, but the French government has a real problem with how it's handling its farms and its food production.
Ugh. Few I toss. I get the devil, Knight of Wands, and a tower.
Mm-hmm.
So it may or may not, because I got a tower with an ending.
Yeah, but what is the ending? Is the ending that they're going to come in and change everything, or is the ending they're going to get in there and they're going to find out there locked in some ways? Now, I do think they're going to hurt the Ukrainian war effort.
Yeah. In the end, I do have the Justice card. That's life, purpose, and balancing.
Mm-hmm.
The Hermit card, thinking about what's going on, trying to illuminate yourself. And then the Sun. So it does feel like it's going to be okay. There would be a balancing no matter what happens. But the current doesn't look that great.
No.
With the tower. But you could very well be right. It's not going to go all horribly bad, but eventually be balanced out. Okay, what else is starred?
You didn't star it, but I'm sorry for you, scary godmother. Her daughter was on the Capitol on the 6th. I'd be with you. That would not be a child I would want back in my house for a while.
I did see that. I think I was looking at that.
It's 9. It's at 10:32. And you're in the position your daughter's in, though, is one that a lot of people who participated in that are finding. They have a friend or a relative or whatever. They're outcasts now. They thought they were going to be all lauded and treated like they were 100% right. I have some friends whose sister went totally QAnon, and I mean, used to talk about how they were about to break into the Pope's treasury and that they were going to get all that gold and it was going to take care of them forever and stuff. I mean, really nuts stuff. I mean, even crazier than I thought they could think. And they all just told her, we won't discuss any of that with you. They just finally isolated her out of a annual family vacation. And she said, why don't you want to be around me? And they said, do you really want to hear? And they told her, and she listened, and they said, she's not completely out of the foggy woods of self-delusion, but she's changing, and they can let her back in the family. So why not hear it, guys?
I wouldn't want to be around that energy either.
No.
Carol is saying, and I believe this, that Cash Peters did pictures for Garland a while back. They do minefields with sharp panels. Garland didn't know who to trust and who were his Trumpsters.
That's right. That's what I've felt since the day the man walked in the door.
Yep. You're reading my son and her. Don feels like an outcast. Don, your son?
Yeah, with the daughter was at the daughter-in-law was at the thing. Okay, I'm gonna pull a oracle card for your son.
Okay.
We don't normally do personal things, but this is kind of
This is different.
yeah. Scary godmother's son.
Do they feel like outcasts? Okay.
I got 2 cards fill out, and the first card for him is I need to clear my energy field, which means he needs to clear up the energy that's around him. And if it's his wife, he needs to come to terms with that and decide how that works out with the rest of the world. Now, he may love her dearly, but the suggestion on how to deal with that is his sensitivity and being able to understand both sides is a gift. So, your son's incredibly well balanced considering who he lives with.
I did a full spread. It feels like your daughter-in-law is not all there.
Mm-hmm.
I got the moon card with her. Um, it feels like she can't release things from the past. She holds on to grief and heartbreak. In the current, I got the Sun, 3 of Pentacles, and Justice. So it feels like they're working on their relationship or trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
Because 3 of Pentacles is working on it. Justice is trying to balance things within life, and the Sun is things being shown to others and trying to make changes. Temperance, 10 of Cups, and Strength, working on a happy family. It's going to take some time. And then in the end, I got the Chariot, Strong, the Lovers, and 6 of Pentacles. So it shows things are going to get better in the future.
Yeah, it's his sensitivity that's keeping things together. So whatever light he sees in her,
It's there. The love is there, obviously, with
mm-hmm.
but yeah, it shows something's going to change. With that sun coming out, it could be what she felt before. It's going to change things or something like that.
I'm not going to go into everything I see, but she has a very, very strange background. And this is for her to work that out. And he's going to stand by her. And trust me, that doesn't happen very often. When you realize you have some really dark stuff out of your family, your spouse doesn't hang in there. So you got a good son, lady.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to change. It's like there's an aha. It feels like there's an aha moment coming, a change for the better. It feels like my cousin was deep down that rabbit hole of if he could have, he would have been in there on January 6th. He was a angry dude, and I just wanted nothing to do with it. It was not good. Do the justice have any clue of Trump's crime? Yeah, of course they do.
Do they have eyes and ears? And Ginny was sending money to his cause. So, yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I think Clarence had it. Let's read on Ginny.
Okay.
Is she going to be part of it all? Or she get a pass?
I'm going to use my Housewives Tarot deck for Ginny.
Let's check on her again.
Ginny's just unhinged, so you can't.
Yes, she is. Was there enough evidence to indict her too?
She put their butts on the buses.
Unhinged Gitmo text.
No, we don't want to send them to Gitmo. I feel sorry for the poor military guards down there. They have to be in Gitmo. So you're going to send them Ginny Thomas? Whoa, you're really mean.
Hey, Sharon. I don't know if you just popped in, but I seen Stormy Daniels got almost $1 million to help repay on a GoFundMe. I know it, Clarence. They're both horrible wives. Alito and Ginny.
I'm reading this. Will Ginny ever pay for her parts? They got a never in there.
Yeah.
It's ever. Okay, can I go? Because mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is a Housewives Direct. What she's got is the Eight of Cups, and it's that she really wants to figure her way out of this because she had a really cushy life and didn't have to do much to take care of anything. But right now, she feels like she's fighting everything, just like this Housewives, trying to fight and clean her house with all of the tools, but she's overwhelmed. And yeah, the Seven of Swords reversed. She doesn't know how to fight it anymore. And what she lives in a totally delusional world. She just wants to fly away in her broomstick and get out of there. Altogether, the way I see it is you got eights and 2 8s and 2 7s. Eights are money and power, and she hides behind that and thought that Clarence could protect her from anything. And sevens are spirit and enlightenment, and when they're in the negative, they're too much inside your own head and not understanding how the world works. Ginny's, it says yes, she's going to pay for it, but she really, even if they made her look at it and could get her on some level to understand what's going on, she's a cult member. She was a cult follower for a long time. That's her cult. And if they get her out of this one, she's just going to pick another one.
Yeah. I think she thought she was all that in a bag of chips before this all came up. Because she had an oh crap moment. And I think you're right with that cult thing. I think it's still there, that mentality with the moon.
She doesn't have, there's no center at the center. If you've ever known someone who's part of a cult, there's no center at their center. You know how when you get to know people and you feel like there's a spirit core inside them? I think for cult people, there isn't one, and so they adopt the cult to fill that hole.
The QAnon cult.
Mm-hmm.
So, it looks like she has a lawyer or is going to need a lawyer. Queen of Swords, part of January 6th, and then we have a disaster coming with the Ten of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a failure, some kind of ending. So I had the Page of Swords. It could be an indictment coming or pressure, something new in the end.
Mm-hmm.
There is a loss coming with the Five of Cups, some grief, and the King of Cups. I think she's protected in a way. Hopefully that means that she could be indicted or some secret dealings to have Clarence step down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I always felt it was going to come down to. That if Jack felt they crimed enough, he would indict. But there could be leverage, like with, some kind of offer with, someone in Congress. Going back to what Spiro Agnew did, step down when you won't go to prison.
Yeah, he claimed some other charge that wasn't what he was really doing.
So it feels, and on the bottom of the deck, I have Six of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
How she will escape justice. But I think she's definitely involved here, and there could be a new offer of something with that Page of Swords coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get any prison cards, but I think there is something going to happen with.
She's already in prison, guys. She's nuts.
That's true.
If you've ever had a friend that was really living in another world, they're already in a prison, and there's like no judge can get them out of it. There's nothing like time served unless they want to change. And I think her pattern's so long term.
Oh, Andrea, that's so hard. Cult deprogramming. You can. I try a few times with my friends on Facebook that post nonsense. Gas prices are too high. I can't afford groceries. Yes, I'm voting for someone has 34 felonies.
Has never really worked a day in his life. Never had to earn a dime. Wouldn't know what the price of groceries were if they walked up and bid them. You know. Do you want to?
Well, the wrong billionaires and millionaires are supporting. The CEOs are supporting Biden.
Mm-hmm.
The owners are supporting fascism. It works for their bottom dollar.
I don't know what books these people read, but I did a lot of papers and stuff on the Second World War, the personal effects, not just which city got bombed and all that stuff. And yeah, the people that supported Hitler at the end, he said, "Let them all die. They didn't support me enough." I mean, when countries do better when people deal for the commonwealth, not for the personal wealth.
Yeah, it's just greed. Seems like greed and war does better. The battle.
That's the old order, Scott. Remember, the astrologers are telling us the planets are moving, right?
Yeah, that's in the past position. The devil, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. The chaos makes money. The greed makes money. It's like the Wall Street movie when Michael Douglas said, "Greed is good."
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, the Messenger, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Queen of Swords. Energy shifting.
Mm-hmm.
Prosecutions help.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, yeah. In the end, it will change. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, and Queen of Wands. Strategic caring. Truth prevails in clarity and awakening and abundance and love. Sharing. So eventually, yes, things will get better, but
Just look at the change that just happened in Britain.
yeah.
I mean,
And
it had
there you
been
go,
wrong.
Monica.
Mm-hmm.
It's the oligarchy system. They like the oligarchy system.
Problems is there always ends up being too many slaves, and some of them aren't stupid. That's what happens to these guys.
Pretty much, Yogi.
Let's go again.
He would be if Trump has his way, it'd be Putin type government. You find a window if you don't like them. Okay, we looked at that.
Are we going to have a blue wave this year?
Oh, bless you, Carrie. Thank you for the donation. Oh, what's the energy? It's coming up next week. It's got to make a decision. Yeah, I was talking to one of my butchers who lives in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And he said they're struggling with police officers yet, hiring more.
Mm-hmm.
He claims they're down 300 police officers yet,
Mm-hmm.
and aren't. And they canceled the big fireworks. They still had the festival type
Mm-hmm.
with food stands and stuff down at the lakefront, but they
Mm-hmm.
canceled the big fireworks display because they didn't have enough security. They're down so many police officers. And then he was saying when the RNC comes next week, they're trying to beg, borrow, and steal from every county,
Jurisdiction.
town,
Jurisdiction. Right.
state police, and everything to hopefully have enough. And there's not
How
even.
how are your laws written for authorities from other counties able to come in?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can pull
usually?
from on request. So they're
Some states you can't. Some states you have to go through all this crap to get it. Texas, they just, I don't think they know where the lines are.
so the other thing he was saying is, well, they lost so many because of COVID. There was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of anti-vax officers that refused to get it, so they just retired. Others quit,
They died. The other thing they don't tell you in
or they
this is
died,
they died.
or they died. Yes. So then we got all these other guys that stuck around and they're old, so they're banking all this overtime, and then they're going to retire with that high income.
Right.
So they're going to be facing even more shortage coming up soon. You said a lot of these officers are banking 80 hours a week, working so
Uh-huh.
much overtime, just crazy. But yeah, they're short security, so I don't know. They're hoping it's going to go smooth next weekend with RNC coming.
The
I'm sure.
choice.
I'm sure Thursday and Friday is going to be fun. We're delivering down that area.
I'm glad I live on the other side of the country. I feel I'll light a candle for you, Scott.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, my VP choices. It came down to he hasn't made his mind up. He's getting manipulated by everybody. All of the people who think they have power over him are coming and saying who they think it ought to be, and he's got it nailed down to either the King of Swords upside down or the King of Wands, which is an affable person that people can relate to. I think this one's JD Vance.
Yeah. JD Vance or Burgum.
Yeah, this would be Burgum. And what I think he's going to choose is, I think he's going to choose right now in his head is Burgum because he thinks he can control him. And it worked out so well last time he picked a governor of a state, right? I want to know. I want to know what sort of mind wants to go work for a boss who tried to hang his last subordinate. But with JD Vance, he's at least an equal to Trump. He'll stab Trump before Trump can hang himself. I think it's all moot. Although I wish I was as good with eyeliner as JD Vance is.
That is crazy how he put on so much makeup now.
Mhm.
He must have went to Kimberly Guilfoyle for makeup tips.
We had a lieutenant governor that was Rick Perry's lieutenant governor, and he's the one that Cruz beat out. Everybody thought he was going to be the next senator. He always had on makeup because he never knew when TV cameras were going to come up and talk to him. So he got up every day and put his makeup on.
Laura Trump, Ben Carson, Sleepy Ben will never be picked.
No.
Laura Trump won't. She's busy running the RNC in the dirt. So weird. I didn't get a lot of people in my toss. Um, I do have a woman in the end, but it's a failure. I think he's always wanted a woman next
Hmm.
to him as VP, but it's next to this Ten of Swords and more thought. That's the ending card. But the only man I got is a King of Cups, which is strange. But he's got a very more personal relationship with a man. Two of Cups, King of Cups, Wheel of Fortune,
Hmm.
and whoever's got the most money.
That's
So I
right.
would guess Bergam in this toss. It's on the bottom, whoever it is, it's a foolish journey with the fool. Yeah, a lot of devil. Whoever's got the money.
Mm-hmm.
He's going with the man who's got the money, it looks like. I would say Burgum's the lead right now. Wonder how Ohio, well, I guess it don't matter in Ohio because the governor is, whether they have to step down right away
Mm-hmm.
or they can continue their seat while they run. Some places you have to step down if you're running for president and someone appoints. Oh, Danny Shea, how you doing? Good morning, my friend.
Good Sunday with Spirit, Danny. I liked it.
All right, 120. What's the energy of Debbie Merkel? Can't remember her last name.
The lady who has a name nobody can say.
Yeah, it's Debbie. I remember that. Is Debbie gonna be victorious over Rick Scott in November in Florida? Nikki Haley's name came out of the grave the other day.
What?
Monica said Nikki Haley came out of her grave the other day and put her 2 cents in.
Oh.
She's been quiet for a while. Danny Shades, Yogi says. Okay. The energy of Debbie. Beating Rick Scott in Florida.
Wow. I love this. This is the first 5-card yes I've had in a long time.
Booyah!
King of Wands was there. But, Rick Scott really kind of wants out. He doesn't like it. He's got the 8 of Cups. She's a fresh face. She's going to have the money to do it because she's going to have the money to do it. She's got great new ideas. I think she's going to win.
It's going to be a fight. I don't have a positive boom, but the energy of the read is Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
Florida wants change, and she's the Knight of Cups here.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence, showing support, the Cup of Love. The Wands is the energy to do it. Why I think it's a fight is because I got the 10 of Cups, happiness in the home, with the 10 of Wands next to it with the Knight of Swords. So it's like an up-down.
It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, it's a battle with Knight of Swords. So it's going to be an up and down kind of campaign. Yet, but in the end, the Knight of Pentacles, it looks like someone taking the seat.
Mm-hmm.
The world, new opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
all good. Celebration with the 9 of Cups. It looks good. We said a few months ago, Florida and Texas are in play.
You want to read on my beloved state?
Ted Cruz and
Colin Allred.
Holland. Put these cards back in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to focus on Colin.
I'm going to ask if Colin's going to win. Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah. I don't want to look into Ted Cruz.
Ugh.
Mitch McConnell's probably freezing up yet.
Hmm?
Liz goes, Mitch McConnell's been kind of quiet. He's been back in his crypt.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm surprised he hasn't had more freezing episodes. That don't. Standing with Biden, riding with Biden,
Mhm.
and the administration. The presidency is more than Joe Biden. Mitch is at the Weekend at Bernie stage. I think so. Okay. Colin Aldred. What's the energy of Colin Allred winning the Senate seat in Texas?
Yeah, but he's going to have to beat the devil. He's going to have to win by such a margin that he beats the devil. He's getting the money. He's getting the money to do it. The infrastructure in the state is against him. But he's a bright new face, and people like him. And the state's ready for a change. It's ready for something to happen. So I get a modified yes, but it really is. This is the main story, and this is beating the devil at his own game right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Al Franken said no colleague likes Ted Cruz.
Well, somebody one time said if they found him dead in the Senate floor, there'd be 49. No, there'd be 99 people who could have committed the crime. I mean, he is. I have actually been in his physical presence, and he is that disturbing.
So I have a rough start in the past and the present.
Mm-hmm.
10 of Wands with the heavy burdens, 8 of Cups. Can be some money problems, turning back. Queen of Wands, focused and moving forward. And then I have Temperance, in it for the long haul. The Fool, taking that risk, a giant leap. 5 of Cups is more money losses, so it feels like he wasn't really in a great start as far as funding.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, 2 of Swords, money coming in, and Chariot. So he's strong. The movement is moving forward. He's getting money coming in with the Pentacles. 2 of Swords, trying to find that balance, how to take down the devil. I don't have the devil, but the 2 of Swords is.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have the 3 of Cups. Celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness coming. 5 of Pentacles, delays. Cruz may challenge the election. It's going to be close. King of Wands, the fearless leader. So it's going to be really close. Really close. I think there's a challenge. With the 3 of Cups here, it looks like he wins.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a challenge. So it could be a Florida situation, it feels like right now, with the hanging chads in a contested race for a while. But it looks like he's got the advantage spiritually, and then the energy.
Energetically, I mean, trust me, nobody wants to wake up every morning in a state that's the laughing stock of the country because it has such a.
I guess it depends how well the elections run in Texas this year. Without your AG getting rid of ballots and whatnot.
Well, they've been trying to take over the elections department in Houston, which is their best hope. Most votes in the state are in Harris County. So.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. I just left it on there because we're reading on another one, but yeah, we were reading on Cruz. Ted Cruz. Yuck. This Satan has Republicans really mad at him from the house insurance. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They are done. Satan has destroyed Florida.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone looks at what he's done, how would they ever want that again? It's beyond me.
Well, Rick Scott got fined the highest fine ever, and he stole more money from Social Security for Medicare with his medical thing. He scams the feds, and then he goes off and becomes a senator, so he can sit in the Senate and pass laws and make that easier. Really?
I think it's going to help Debbie a lot because of abortion being on the ticket.
Oh yeah, Arkansas last night, they had to approve it to be on their ballot. It's
And
on their ballot.
Republicans are fighting it.
Well, they're going to fight it, but they fought it already, and it got to this point.
So it got passed, and Republicans are already challenging the signatures.
Well,
They can't accept defeat.
mm, mm,
Unbelievable. There's no ballot measure in Texas, right?
no, no, we don't need a ballot measure. We just have a governor who wants to throw women out on the streets and starve their children,
So unfortunate.
and we're losing doctors like crazy, guys. It's just really. I'm fortunately old enough that my doctors aren't terribly worried about delivering babies, but we're losing doctors of all kinds because.
Yeah, it seems to be happening in all red states.
Mm-hmm. If I was a doctor,
A year later, people are gonna get upset and like, well, why can't I go to the doctor? Then the nurse says, well, they all
because there aren't any.
left because of Roe v. Wade. All right, inspiration time, Miss Nancy.
Okay. We're going to go to angels and auras.
Angels and auras. I'm going to do 2 from one deck and 2 from another. See what this says for today and the week.
And we won't be here next week, right, Scott?
Correct. No show next week. I'll be in my hometown taking care of the softball festival. Oh, Nancy's card in my deck.
Mm.
Okay, I got the dirty deal one. It says someone's betraying you. So I think that's what it means. I got crystal healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like if you feel off or your energy is negative, you can use your crystals to balance your energy.
Oh.
Grab them. Let the energy of the crystals take you in with your meditation. They'll help that a negative energy in your life. And the other one, the Star. And the 9 of Raphael. Dreams come true. Make a wish. Your dreams become a reality and a joyful time in life. Believe in yourself.
Very good.
Good times.
It's a pretty deck.
Yep, I like that deck.
Okay, I pulled self-respect and worthiness. That's what we need to understand. And it's a hard card to get a good image of it. But what it means is a woman standing in front of a mirror, and it's got all sorts of wonderful things written on it to affirm who she is. And we got the right side up. And it said, your self-confidence and power are expanded due to your commitment to positive self-talk and use of affirmation. The universe is delivering more encouragement and motivation than was ever there before. Because of this energy shift, you expect doors to open, deeper connections to develop, and the natural divine energy of joy to fill your life. And it's just really pretty card. Its colors are pink and purple, like my colors. Um, the color pink reminds you to love with that comes from within, and we're truly expecting self-love. The purple literally helps you stand tall and be in your own power. So that's where we need to be this week. And don't believe everything you hear or see, and don't let it get you down. And if it's starting to get you down or it's starting to make you not sleep at night and stuff, turn it off, because you listening to them is what gives them power. And the second they can make you have some self-doubt, then that makes them even stronger. We just need to stand in our own power and realize we're right and we're going to make it this time. In 2016, I kept telling people, quit talking to me about him. Tell me what you want to say about Hillary. And I will tell you this, get ready to vote. Get ready to find every person you can find to vote, because the reason we lost in 2016, the reason rational America lost in 2016 was because only like 47 point something of the voters actually voted. And those who stayed home and said, oh, I don't like to dirty my hand with politics. Well, look at what's happened. Look who's dirtied their hands with you. So, stand up and be counted.
Yeah. That and third party tickets.
Oh, yeah, don't vote third party. Third party's a waste of time.
Gradually, I feel like people are seeing the difference in what elections have, especially with the women issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting into the news of all these ladies that have struggled in these red states.
It's not only the women's issues. They just handed the President of the United States, the Supreme Court did, the right to go do whatever he or she damn well pleases. Well, all the guys are going to think that's great as long as it's a he. The second it's a woman president, they're not going to like some of the things. If we had a woman that was as bizarre as Trump, they're not going to like what she says at all. I won't like what she says at all. But turn out, vote, get registered, check your registration, and if you're clever enough on a cell phone to know how to do what to do, take a picture of your registration. It'll be date time stamped on your phone. So if you show up and they say, but you're not on here, you can show them and say, well, what happened to this? So trust me. And 2025.
I can't remember what it was at, but I seen a post. Some black lady actor was speaking at some event.
Mm-hmm.
And before she finished, she brought up Project 2025.
Oh, really?
To the audience and on the feed, and said everyone needs to look at it, and people did. So it takes people with that kind of platform to actually get it out more so than
Taylor needs to write a song.
Who?
Taylor Swift, the highlights of 2025.
Wheezy said, Democrats need better candidates. I voted for Hillary, but she had no charisma. It's all your opinions, I voted for Hillary because I knew Donald was horrid.
Mm-hmm.
I Googled him, and I'm like, oh no, he cannot be president. I think she would have been a good president.
Yeah, I think she would have been good. Campaigning and what they have to do in the campaign trail doesn't have much to do. I've been with some great campaigners, and they were sort of crap when they got into office because they weren't good at that stuff.
Yeah. The biggest mistake was not hitting those 5-6 states, swing states.
Well, they took them for granted.
Yeah. I don't think she even went to Wisconsin.
She never did. That was a big mistake.
You know, like Joe and Kamala are hitting those states.
Yep.
He's back in Pennsylvania. He's been to Wisconsin a few times. He's got to get down to Arizona. He's got to go to
Hmm.
Texas. You know, he's doing it.
Hmm.
And that's the biggest failure with Hillary, is that she didn't get out there to the states.
You got to fight for it if you want to have it.
Oh, Bill was mad at that. But
Well,
that's
Bill's
just
part of the
unfortunate.
problem she had.
But it's just crazy that just enough people voted for Trump when his hateful rhetoric and
Well,
inviting
not that. It's
Russia.
not the people. It's the people who voted for him, yeah, because he had to have them. But it's the idiots that voted for Jill Stein. If they had not voted in one state, Hillary would have been president. That's the problem with third party tickets. She took just enough votes away from Hillary to give him the majority of votes in that state. And that's the problem with third party tickets. It's just like they're going to try and resurrect brainworm RFK. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 77,000 votes in 4 states.
hmm
845 the Electoral College.
and that's why the Electoral College is an abomination. The Republicans have not won with the straight out vote since before Bush.
Yeah.
So, we're not living in a democracy. And if we're not careful, we're going to end up living in a theocracy or an oligarchy. So,
In all reality, 2020 was pretty darn close
hmm
to the electoral, because he didn't get Wisconsin by that much. Pennsylvania was what, 300,000? Still a lot. That's a lot. You know,
hmm
Georgia, 11,000 votes. So it was really close. Do you remember what Arizona was? Was that a couple 100,000 too?
yeah.
Or was it closer?
And they wanted it. They thought they could switch it. And if they had the right people in place, they just didn't know how to play that game.
That's another thing Democrats need to do. Get rid
It's
of the
work
electoral college.
go work all the levels of the ballot. You cannot just go vote for Joe Biden and think some miracle's going to happen. You have to give them the state house reps. You have to give them the senators to work with, and in your own home state, you have to vote for the down ticket people who are going to make your state run. Because I hate to tell you, but at the end of the day, it's the local politicians that have more to do with your quality of life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. I'm going to be interested to see what happens in November in Wisconsin, because we got new maps.
Yes.
Except,
Well, look at Michigan was the state where they always divided the House of Representatives in Michigan, whatever it's called, made up the map that decided how people voted. And a young woman, she was 24, and she read an article about how this happened. She goes, "This is nuts." So she looked up what it was going to take for her, or what it would take to change that, so that the people picked another kind of commission to draw the map. And she did this after 2016 because anyway, by this time, by the year 2020, when the maps were going to be redrawn, they changed the law in Michigan based on what this young woman started. I think she's not even 30 years old yet. She changed the entire trajectory of Michigan. So you got to do whatever you can do. If you hear someone's got a thing going on like that, look it up, read up on it, and give them a little bit of help.
you know, it totally changed in that Democrat control, and Gretchen Whitmer, they got a lot of good things done.
Hmm. Okay, so everybody think blue and then vote blue all the way down the ballot and take your 10 best friends.
Yeah, Julio, I seen Jim Jordan's map, district map. It is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like pieced out to make him win. It like goes around Dayton or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That needs to be
Well,
changed.
that's where the term gerrymander comes from. When it was first started happening, someone put a map in the newspaper and it showed how this district wove around, and they said it looks like a salamander, but it's been, and then because of the politician, I think they called it gerrymander. And that's where the term comes from.
Yep, yep. All right.
Yeah.
Everyone have a blessed day. Time to
Okay.
go. Have a great
Enjoy
one.
if your weather's getting cooler, enjoy it. If it's sunny, enjoy it. If it's raining, enjoy the rain.
Bye, y'all. Love all.
Bye.